My name is Coach Mossbrucker from St. Lawrence University, and these will be our post-workout stretches. We'll go through a series of dynamic and static stretches as well as a partner stretch. The first routine we'll be going through will be an in-place dynamic stretch. You can do this by yourself. There's no equipment needed. The first stretch that we're going to do is a crossover hip stretch. It's a two-part movement, 10-second hold with a 5-second hold after that. On this stretch, you will want to have one leg bent. You will want to cross over with the other leg. So for this, I'll do my left leg bent, cross my right over, and I'm just going to roll over, put my right foot on the ground, have my shoulders flat. You will hold this position for 10 seconds, breathe normally. After the 10 seconds, you'll take your left hand, put it on your right knee, and pull it down for a greater stretch. The next stretch we'll be doing is an alternate hamstring stretch. On this stretch, you're going to be laying flat on the ground. You're going to alternate hamstrings. You're going to grab behind your calf, both hands, bring your forehead to your knee, and alternate. You want to do 5 each leg, 10 total. The next stretch will be a lower back rotation. Again, you'll be laying on the ground. Both knees bent, knees together, heels together. Shoulders flat against the ground, then you're just going to rotate from here, keeping your knees and your heels together. You will do 5 each way, 10 total. Next stretch will be a pretzel stretch. We'll be on the ground for this one. You will put whichever leg out front. For this, I'll do my left leg. I will take my right leg, cross it over my left knee. Take my right hand, place it next to my right heel. I will then take my forehead and try and put it to the ground. The closer you get to your hand, the more of a stretch. The further away, the less of a stretch. You'll hold at the bottom for 3 seconds, come back up, breathe, and then go back down. You'll do 5 each leg. The next stretch will be a downward dog. This is a couple part movement. First, you'll go down to your toes. You want to keep your knees locked out, your legs straight as possible. Next will be a squat. You want to keep your chest big, you don't want to be slouched over. Keep your chest big, shoulders back. You then go right arm, left arm, stand up. You will repeat that movement 5 times. So toes, squat, hold it for a second, right arm, left arm, stand up. The next movements will be a rope static stretch. You can do this with a band or with a towel or a t-shirt or just simply any rope that's long enough. First thing you're going to do is you will cross over your foot that you want to stretch. The first stretch that we will be doing will be a static hamstring stretch. You'll lay down, raise the leg that you want to stretch straight up, and you will hold this for 10 seconds. Once the 10 seconds is complete, release. Relax for a minute. Then the next stretch will be outside your body hamstring. Just slightly outside the framework of your body. Hold it again for a 10 count. After the 10 is up, release again, relax. Next stretch will be a hamstring inside. Just inside the framework of our body here. You want to keep your down leg straight, your down leg toe up, and you want to keep the leg that you're stretching as straight as possible. After that is complete, take another second, pause. Next stretch will be a groin stretch. This will be outside. You want to keep this leg as close to the ground as possible that we're stretching. Again, keep your down leg straight and toe up. After you hold this for 10 seconds, release and relax. Next will be a crossover. We want to keep our down leg as straight as possible, keeping our shoulder, our right shoulder in this instance, down against the ground. Release and relax. The next stretch will be a hip flexor stretch. You will lay down on your stomach.
You want to get your knee that you were stretching up off the ground, and you want to press that hip against the ground for a greater stretch. Hold that for a 10-second, release.
Set of stretching movements we'll be doing will be a rope in-place dynamic stretch. You can use a rope, any t-shirt, towel, or band for this. First stretch will be a hamstring stretch. Again, first movement, double it up around our foot, lay down. We want to pull our leg that we are stretching as far as it can possibly go to get a greater stretch. Again, keeping your down leg straight, toe up in the air. Hold this for a 5 count, release, do it again. You want to do 5 total there. Next will be an outside framework of our body hamstring. Again, hold for a 5 count, release. You want to do 5 of those as well. Next will be inside hamstring, just inside the framework of our body. Hold for a 5 count and release. Next will be our groin stretch out to the side. Again, keeping our down leg straight, toe up. Hold for a 5 count and release. Crossover stretch. We want to keep our down leg as straight as possible. Pull our leg that we're stretching as high as possible while keeping it straight. Hold for a 5 count, release. Next will be a hip flexor stretch. Again, we'll lay down on our stomach.
Get our knee up off the ground, press our hip that we're stretching down to the ground. Hold for a 5 count and release.
You will do each of those movements 5 times while holding it for 5 seconds apiece. This set of movements will be a partner stretch movements. First movement that we are going to do will be a hamstring stretch. Your partner should lay on the ground, lift the leg up that you want to stretch. You want to pin his off thigh to the ground. Put your other hand behind his knee and press forward. So he says good for a good stretch. You want to hold this for 10 seconds. Next will be a crossover stretch. We'll take our partner's leg that we want to stretch, hip, cross it over. We want to take our left hand, press it against his knee. We want to take our offhand, my right hand, and pin his shoulder to the ground. We want to hike up and press down on this. Hold for 10 seconds, and then release. Next will be a partner hip flexor stretch. Our partner will have to be one leg on the ground, one leg up in the air. As a partner, I will place my left hand under his ankle, place my right hand on his right shoulder. I will lift up until he says good for a good stretch. The partner that's being stretched will then raise his left hand up in the air as high as it can go, keeping his elbow behind his ear. You will hold for a 10 count and then release. Next stretch will be a butterfly groin stretch. The partner who's being stretched will lay down on the ground, lifting both legs up in the air. As his partner, I will place my hands on the bottom of his feet. We will start in the out position. He will then contract, and I will provide resistance going both ways. He will then open his legs. Again, providing resistance by me. Close them, open. You do not want a wrestling match. You want good, smooth resistance from the partner who is holding. The last stretch of the partner stretch will be done individually. Again, it will be a downward dog. We'll start with our feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. First movement will be down to our toes. Second movement will be getting in the squat position, keeping a big chest, spread your chest. Next will be right arm, left arm, stand up. You will repeat all those movements 5 times.